Well, start up your vehicles, folks, because it is time to visit with our good friend Ron the Car Guy and learn a little something about your vehicle or what you can do in case something happens to your vehicle. And this time of year, Ron, we watch things bloom all over the place.
We do, and there's a crop that's blooming right now, and it's called potholes.
Yes, they are.
Ooh. And they're I don't think they're as bad as they have been in the past. I mean, I don't think we had as bad of a winter, but stuff like today where it rains and then it gets cold and it freezes, I mean, that's what obviously causes potholes is the water and moisture gets down into the cracks and then it freezes and breaks out the concrete and stuff, and then we drive over them, we see problems with them.
Mm-hmm. You see problems not with the pothole but with your vehicle after
they
drive
over them.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, we had one that we towed in it was last week, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and we towed it in off Interstate 35. And it was a Chrysler 300 that had hit a pothole. There's a pretty sizable one here south of town if you're in the northbound lane. I think they've patched it now. But both right side tires blew out.
Both?
And it broke the right front wheel on the car.
Well, that really must have been a dip then.
Well, yeah, and they're going highway speeds. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're driving around town.
How fast do you have to go in order to receive damage to your vehicle if you're going over a pothole?
Through it.
Just through it.
2 miles an hour. I mean,
as long as you hit it,
yeah. You know, unless you've got an off-road tires or a four-wheel drive vehicle. I mean, yeah, just hitting a pothole. I would say, I mean, realistically, you know, anything over maybe 10 or 15 miles an hour. I mean, there's quite an impact there. You know, when you hit that, it may or may not damage the tire or the suspension, but it's going to do something to the alignment of your car. Mm-hmm. And that's the important thing. You know, over the next 2 to 4 weeks when we get through the pothole season and they get them all patched or repaired and stuff, it's probably a good idea to have your alignment checked on your vehicle, because we're talking measurements that are in millimeters. I mean, you're not going to see that in the steering wheel. You're not going to feel that in how the car drives, but it can change your alignment enough that it causes the tires to wear out. And then, of course, you're visiting us in June or July, and one or two of your tires are bald or wore out on the edge because the alignment's off, and you know, there's nothing broken or bent or anything. It's just it shifted that alignment a little bit on the car.
Now, would you suggest somebody come in and see you if they realize, yes, they did hit a pothole, or is it just as a general rule of thumb about this time of year?
If you hit a pothole to where, I mean, it was oh my God, I hit a pothole.
Bone jarring?
Yeah, exactly. I would have it looked at, or if you're due for an oil change in the next 30 days or so, when you come in, just say, hey, I hit a pothole. It was over on the right front. Can you check it or take a look at it? I mean, it doesn't take that long to even measure your alignment just to make sure that everything's correct there. Mm-hmm. So, but there were some interesting stats out there, and this is just in the city of Des Moines. Certainly we've got potholes in the whole metro area.
Right.
But the city of Des Moines receives reports of over 1,000 potholes every spring, and they have the ability.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and they have the ability to fix about 50 of them a day. They're out there, and they're almost all are complaint driven. They've even set up a specific pothole complaint number.
A pothole hotline.
Yep. The city of Des Moines has a pothole hotline. It's 283-4950. So if you're in the Des Moines city limits and there's a pothole that you feel should be repaired, which I think is all of them, right. I don't think any should be left.
You hit a key point here. This is complaint driven, so they don't go around looking for potholes. They wait for somebody to say, hey, here's a pothole
How
at,
many?
University and so and so.
Well, in probably any city. I mean, they don't have the manpower to drive down all their streets, unless somebody that works in public works or a city employee drives on that street on their way to work or their way home or whatever. They can't know where they all are. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad, calling up a city, whether it's Des Moines or West Des Moines or Grimes or whoever, and say, hey, there's a pothole. It's kind of like street lights. You ever notice? I mean, sometimes street lights can be burned out for months. Well, there's really not a crew that drives around and looks at that. They just wait for somebody to call and say, hey, there's a street light out here. Yeah, and then they send someone out to fix it. So
there's a phone number there that we just showed you, but I've heard of apps as well that can kind of detect those things.
That is something cool, and of course, our smartphone, we can't be without it.
Right.
And technology driven. There are some apps you can download. They're pothole apps, and They work in a couple of different ways. I've never personally used one, but you know, one of them senses, you know, vibration when you're driving the car. So I mean, if you drive the same route all the time and you do hit a pothole, well, next time you're on that street, it's going to remember that, hey, there was a pothole here, and it will give you an alert, a pothole alert.
You might want to watch out for it.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there was another one that was out there that had like a mapping, and it was based off people that would report, you know, potholes. So probably not as, you know, the best preventative way for potholes obviously is to pay attention, look ahead, you know, see what's going on.
While driving.
Well, yes. Quit trying to download the Pothole app and pay attention to where you're going, and I mean, just try to avoid them. You know, sometimes it's hard if you're on a 4-lane road and you're coming up on one and there's a car beside you.
Not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, try to avoid it without creating an accident.
Okay, let's go back to hitting the pothole and realizing you hit it and it's boom, and you I just hit a pothole, and you say you should go in and get your alignment checked. Let's talk dollars and cents here. To get an alignment on your vehicle as opposed to having to have your tires replaced.
Sure.
Which is a better deal?
80. The alignment's going to be $80 to $90. Mm-hmm. The average tire out there is over $120.
Okay.
Yeah, and the cars that we're seeing with damage to like wheels and tires are oftentimes, you know, the lower profile tires, which a lot of cars are coming. I mean, you know, 20s, 22s are standard anymore on vehicles. You know, and the aluminum wheels. I mean, those are the ones that tend to break when they go through the potholes. But I mean, you can spend, you know, you go through a pothole and ruin a tire and a wheel. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, you can burn up $500 really quick.
Right. Now, speaking of the wheels, you have friends in the business. You know, we've talked to them recently that if you do hit a pothole significantly enough and you do damage the wheel, there's a lot of times when they can repair the wheel.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know the people that can do that.
Yeah. We have them come out and repair wheels all the time. I mean, if there's a big piece missing, like that Chrysler that we towed in last week.
Probably out of
luck. Both of them had just, you know, a chunk the size of my fist missing.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fix going to happen there.
But you might luck out, so to speak, by having the wheel repairable as opposed to having to replace
you know,
it.
that's a great point, Lou, because like on that Chrysler, the people are traveling. They were from out of town. They had a limited budget. We found a couple of used wheels for the vehicle. So yeah, it doesn't always have to be that expensive brand new wheel. I mean, we can find used wheels. We can get wheels, you know, fixed. Yeah, there are some options.
All right, so if you hit something,
be aware, obviously, on your normal route every day and heading out this morning. But you're going to help people out, Ron, because you have a deal coming up on tires.
We do have a deal coming up. You know, even if you don't hit potholes and you need some tires, this starts next Monday, March 27th. There's a $100 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 BF Goodrich or Michelin tires.
There you go.
And that's going to run through the 16th of April. So $100 off a set of 4 tires.
All right, so
helping you out.
Get a hold of Ron the Car Guy. He'll give you all the details at Westside Auto Pros. Thank you, Ronald.
Thanks, Ron.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will be